Tandega, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's give it about a minute while everybody joins in. But for those that are here already, thank you for joining. Welcome. And as always, this will be a very informative session with my colleague over here, Ngobizita Malenga, who is an uMaStandi portfolio manager. I've also just noticed that I've actually never introduced myself, Ngobi.
Go for it.
I always go right in.
No, you go for it. No, you do it. You do it.
Okay, my name is Buhlebenkosi Mavundla. I'm with the marketing team here at TAF and uMaStandi. So I take care of all things branding, social media, events, just letting people know more about what it is that we do, our service offering, and of course engaging with everybody online and in person.
So if you guys ever have an event that you would like us to attend, essentially Buhle is the starting point.
Of course.
If there's something that you want to collaborate on, or you have an idea that's outside of what our business is, then Buhle is your go-to to engage with.
Awesome. Ngobi, I think we can get right into it. So as mentioned earlier, today's session really is more so about touching based on what it is that uMaStandi does, the application process, and addressing some commonly asked questions. So the first question for you, Ngobi, is tell us briefly about uMaStandi. What is uMaStandi? What's uMaStandi all about?
All right, so uMaStandi is essentially financial assistance in the form of a mortgage. So it's almost similar to a home loan, where the property, we register a bond on the property, you have to have a title deed, So picture us as a home loan, but we are not a home loan. We commercial mortgage, commercial residential mortgage. Okay. And what that now means is our lending criteria is based on the performance of your property, not necessarily you as an individual. Your property is the business, and this is a business loan. So our affordability, our key criteria in terms of affordability is the rent income, and how much that rent income is going to be collected to pay our installment, your operating costs, and still leave you with a profit.
Okay.
So uMaStandi is a commercial residential mortgage for property entrepreneurs. Why I'm saying is we don't provide home loans. You can't come to us to buy your 3-bedroom house,
your mansion, in
Shawarela, or Santon,
or wherever,
that you're gonna live in. You come to us when there is a property where you can say, once I put 8, 10, 12 tenants here, these tenants will pay the bond and make me a profit.
Okay.
I guess technically you can even live in the property too, so long as there's other people contributing.
And paying rental income each month.
As another scenario, maybe you're not buying, you already own the house. You live in the main house, and you want to develop a more.
And add more rooms, bachelor units, whatever the case is, you can do that.
So in a nutshell, that's what uMaStandi is. We provide you finance. We don't build it for you. We aren't your architect. We don't build for you. We're not a contractor. We obviously, because we have a specific type of finance, we provide you with advice.
Okay.
We guide you. We need your plans to be approved. We can comment on your draft plans, understanding what's going to happen. But to keep it simple, we provide you with finance in the form of a bond.
Thank you for that response, Ngobi. Before I move on to the next question, just to let you guys know that you are more than welcome to leave your questions in the comments, and we will address your questions towards the end of the live video. There's no question that is either a silly question or a ridiculous question. Whatever question you have, type it out in the comment section and we'll address those for you. All right, so I think you touched on this briefly, Ngobi, but maybe if you could just go deeper into the qualifying criteria. Now, I've heard about uMaStandi, I know what you guys do, and I want to apply. What do I need to know? What would make me eligible for an uMaStandi loan?
So, your credit score, I think maybe let me start there. You have to have a credit score that is above. What we want it to be above is 650.
650.
If it's below that, we want to understand why, what happened, and when will you remedy it. So credit score, ideally above 650. Definitely has to be above 620. So credit score for you as an individual. We lend to companies and not to natural persons.
Okay.
So you have to open up a company or a trust if you want to buy someone's property or whatnot. If you already own the property in your personal name, we will need to transfer that property to the company, and that's who we then provide the loan. So Buhle Properties Pty Limited is the one who received the loan.
Not Buhle the individual.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
in terms of the structures, the building, they have to have approved plans.
Okay.
You don't necessarily, at the end of the day, we have to have approved plans. Maybe if you come to us and the plans aren't approved yet, while we're still putting the deal together, that's cool. But that's a strict requirement.
Okay.
And then we don't do 100% finance. So you must come with equity. Equity in the form of cash over and above, let's say we were using your house. Over and above the house, we need you to come with equity in the form of cash. So that can be up to about 20% of the total cost. If those rooms we need to build are 1 million rand, just anticipate that maybe you need to come with 200, we will finance 800,000. So that's, I would say, is the key stuff.
So maybe there's some questions I receive around the contribution where somebody will say, I don't have the 20% equity contribution, but I have land or I have a house. Can I use that as collateral towards, or can you consider that as contribution? Could you take my home and consider that as contribution? Could you take my car? Is that possible?
As contribution, no. As security, by virtue, so it's called issuing guarantees or surety.
Okay.
But let's take it back one step. So we need you to come with that 50%. 20%. You don't have it. You need to come with something. Let's say you only have, I need you to put in 200,000, but you only have 50,000. We then need you guys to please apply with our Intuthuko mezzanine finance, which is a second loan that can help you with that shortfall for the equity. You can't just give up a car or another property as security because you don't have enough equity. We led by the actual net profits of what's going to happen with the business. So you giving us more assets doesn't make the business more profitable. So that's why it doesn't necessarily assist.
Okay. So the quick answer to that is no.
Is no.
All right.
But yeah, you do, as a surety, you do essentially say, guys, for whatever reason, if things go left, we're going to start with the subject property we financed. Let's say you're not paying us for 2 years. We don't know why, for whatever reason. And you run away and you're not answering calls. Then when it's time for us to now make a move on how do we manage the situation.
Yes.
That then, these type of things of the security would then pursue.
Could I also just say thank you for that, Ngobi? Our viewers are so quiet.
Hey guys, where are the questions?
Guys.
Where are the questions?
It's Friday. It's month end. I know we all got a little bit of something in our pockets. Have you guys had coffee? Have you had breakfast? Have you had tea? Say something. Say something. You guys are so shy today.
We might need to do the neighborhood check here.
You guys are so shy today. Where is everybody? Where are you guys? Where are you guys joining from? Are we in Soweto? Are we in Pretoria? Are we in Kempton Park? Are we in the CBD?
Tandega, are you still here?
Is Tandega still here? Our first guest for this morning. You guys are so quiet. Let's wake up. It's a great day. It's a Friday. We're here to engage with you guys. That is the purpose of this conversation. So it's not just one-sided. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to know what you guys think about uMaStandi.
Any comments? Or let me ask the guys currently joining. Let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
What do you think about uMaStandi? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What can we do better?
What can we do to improve?
What can we do to improve? And please drop your suggestions in the chat on what you think we can do. If you have engaged with us, what do you think we can do to do it better?
Tandega says it's Black Friday today. They're busy shopping. So she's joining the live at the mall.
She's busy. Running through game.
Running around looking for affordable items. We have Tandolwetu Nobuhle. And she says, good morning. I want to know if uMaStandi loans me 350,000, how much am I going to pay back? That actually will address the next question, Ngobi, which is what are the loan terms and applicable interest rates?
So let's say you needed 350,000 rands. Our interest rate is equivalent to prime plus 4.5%. So prime being at 11.5%, your installments would have been around 3,500. Because it's now going up to close to 16%, your installments will be, for 350,000 rand, your installments will be around 4,000 rand, maybe 4.2.
Okay.
And you need to understand our interest rate, this isn't, again, it's not a home loan. Home loans, you pay them for 20 to 30 years. So it's for a longer period of time. Our loan term is for 15 years. So it's shorter so that you exit sooner. Our interest rate is slightly higher than traditional home loans because of the criteria. We don't necessarily only look at your pay slip to determine whether you can get finance from us, number one. We try assist you during construction.
Okay.
With an independent built environment professional who, because we're assuming you guys are first time builders, maybe, and construction's a demanding period of this whole thing. So and this is all at no expense. This is not part of your loan. We'll have someone there who's going to help you during construction. But you have your own team, your own builder, your own architect, your own engineers. We just have this other person there who's essentially like a project manager. You then also get to participate in our TPPE program, TOUGH program for property entrepreneurs, which is a short course with UCT. You get that for free. It's for 6 months on property investment and development. And then there's mentorship. So there's quite a lot of value-added services that justify where we landed with that pricing of our loan.
Perfect. You may have touched on this briefly, but I think it's a matter of how a question is posed sometimes that will provide clarity to our viewers. So let's say an applicant doesn't have the required 20% contribution. Can they approach another bank for a loan and use those funds that they've received from the bank as equity contribution towards the uMaStandi loan?
I guess the simple answer is yes. There's two answers. There's the answer where it's about the investment case. At the end of the day, you're trying to chase cash flow. So because people do have credit cards, and people, a lot of our clients have credit cards, have personal loans, whatever. They don't necessarily have that to finance the deal with us. but who's to say they didn't withdraw from their credit
From the
card?
credit card and
So
use
long,
it.
because the credit card installments has got nothing to do with us. It's you and your personal capacity.
Okay.
Your personal loan, all of that stuff. As if your personal affordability, your salary is taking care of these things, that's your business. Just know, Tina, we can't do 100% finance, so we're going to go up to a number, and you then need to come with the difference.
With
So
the addition.
how you raise that money is up to you.
As long as it's legal, within
Yeah,
legal
of
means.
course. It's up to you. And then again, we've got mezzanine finance. Maybe you have a shortfall.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Mobi. So now, does one need to be employed in order to qualify for an uMaStandi loan? Do they need to have regular income?
It makes, as a lender, it certainly de-risks the deal, knowing what you've got another source of income, that you are full-time employed, that you earn a salary, and that you are not living off these rentals.
Yes.
Because guys, I'll tell you, this thing doesn't make you necessarily cash rich overnight. It's property.
Process, yes,
It's
course.
over time. You have to be patient. You have to be in it for different things, not just for making money. Because in terms of net income at the end of the month, it's not going to be enough for the most part. More often than not, the amount of money you make, you're not going to be able to quit your job and now just live off this money. You still got many not operating expenses. Still got our installment to pay. Once we're out the picture, and then you've got full collection of the rent,
Of
then
the rent,
obviously
yes.
now you can maybe say, you know what, I'm getting 30,000 and my job is paying me 25, maybe I can let go. But up until you've paid up your bond, your net income probably won't be enough for you to quit your job. So you have to be in it for different things, because now you've got the potential of capital gain. You've improved your property. It used to be worth 1 million, it's now worth 2 million. Should you want to sell, there's the opportunity for you to make X amount of money on that sale. Obviously, once we're out the picture, and it's not just us, any loan, once that loan installment is no more there, your cash flow really goes up, and that'll be in the future. And then just in terms of building up your net asset value, financial institutions like it when people have assets. Your asset will be not only just something that has value, but it also produces you rent income, which will just help you in the future when it's time to apply for other things. And then again, last but not least, it's now part of your family. It's not just a house, it's actually a business now. So that net income can take care of expenses in the future.
That answers it. I hope you guys are.
We've got some questions.
We have about 2 questions,
Okay.
which
Let me see them,
we'll
yeah.
get to. Or would you rather address them now?
Yeah,
Mobi?
let's.
Okay, let me read
The
them
guys
out
are
for
waiting
you.
for us to answer.
Let me read them out for you. I've got them here. Asante Numalo. Thank you for joining us, Asante. Asante says, hi guys, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Asante.
Hi, Asante.
She says, does uMaStandi offer any advice or services to a landlord in order to help them manage their tenants? For example, legal counsel or property management systems?
Yeah, so I guess that's one of the roles a portfolio manager does, is we're client facing. We speak with you guys on a daily basis and we try to point you in the right direction. So the answer is yeah. Legal counsel, I'm not sure what you would need legal counsel for per se. Maybe you're trying to get some evictions going or whatnot. But property management, we have a lot of property managers who speak to us, who also present their new ideas. They've got new technology. So they present to us quite a bit. And then if you ever ask for that type of support, we'll gladly connect you with service providers.
Amazing. Thanks for that question, Asante. Let's take another one from Busi. Busi, good morning, Busi. Thank you for joining and welcome. And Busi asks, does uMaStandi assist people in King's King Williamstown. King
So where is that?
Williamstown.
Eastern Cape?
Is that Eastern Cape? Sounds like Eastern Cape. These are...
So we do have a list of areas of finance. But you know what? If your deal stacks up, if your income and the cost and your equity and everything is making sense, we could look at doing the deal. So even if it's not on our area of finance, we could consider it. There are things we have to look at. How far is it from the nearest CBD, public transport availability, public amenities, the market itself. Are people willing to live in, a bachelor unit? And how much are they paying? What's the rental? So there's the things we look at. But if the deal works out, we might do it. We've got offices across the country. So Eastern Cape, we've got one in Gqeberha as well as East London. So, yeah.
And to add to that, we also have offices in Cape Town and KZN and of course Gauteng. Let's take another question from Thandolwethu Nobuhle. Thandolwethu says uMaStandi is good, but I think uMaStandi must have an uMaStandi app where if somebody has a question, they can inquire there, and also put a personal loan calculator that has prime rates and also the interest rates, so that people can calculate the loan that they want and know how much they are going to pay back.
I agree. I was thinking the same the other day, that I think our website needs to be able to help people calculate the same way you've got your Property 24 home loan affordability. So I do agree that that's something we need to add into our platform.
Great idea.
But that's a great point, Thandolwethu.
Thank you for that, Thandolwethu. Let's take another question from Yolande. Yolande, welcome, Yolande. Thank you for joining us. Yolande says, do you have any early settlement penalties?
Yes, we do. Early settlement penalties, they work on a sliding scale. So the earlier you settle, the higher the penalty.
Okay.
I haven't really had to necessarily deal with early settlement penalty, but I do think it maybe starts around 5% as the earliest settlement amount.
Okay.
That I might be wrong, it might be a little bit different, but I don't think it would be ever more than 10%. So I think around 5% if you settle within the first year. So whatever that settlement amount is, calculate a 5% over and above that as the early settlement penalty. And then the further out, maybe you're settling in year number 4.
Yes.
Maybe it'll be like 2%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the short answer, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. Look, the reason why, guys, is because we're also a business, and we have shareholders and board members and investors where we promise them the monies as well. So when you guys are settling early, it compromises things, it changes things. It's not you're allowed to settle, so that's not a problem. But just know, as a financial institution, when you settle us, there is an impact somewhere along the line.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ngobi. It's now 10:30, which means we are nearing the end of our lives.
Get those last questions in.
We're nearing the end of our lives.
Season finale, guys.
This is the last one for the year until 2025, guys. This is an opportunity for you to engage with us, ask as many questions as possible. We have a few minutes left, but if you don't get your question in, we do have our inbox where we answer all queries. That's info@uMaStandi.co.za. We also have a direct line, which is 010-595-9000. We always have our team available to assist with any inquiries you may have.
Wait, okay, guys, where's the house emoji? Can I get some house emojis in the chat? I've always actually thought about this.
A house emoji.
House emoji, where's our one? Put the house emoji down.
Okay, let me find one. Hold on.
House emoji in the chat.
Actually, let's see. Ngobi is making us work hard. Now we must find houses.
Naz,
That's
here we
actually
go.
a different...
House emojis in the chat. Run it up.
We've got a house emoji. Okay, should we take Busi's question?
Yeah, what's the question?
Let's see. She says, thank you so much. I really appreciate the answer. It's a pleasure, Busi. Do you have contact details that I can call in Eastern Cape to continue with the conversation? Oh, okay. We do have contact details for our Eastern Cape office. I've only given the direct line of our Joburg office. However, if you do call our Joburg office, they will be able to direct you, or rather, to transfer you directly to our Eastern Cape office. Or if you'd like, you can right now go onto our website, which is www.uMaStandi.co.za, and you are then able to see all our offices there: Cape Town, Eastern Cape, KZN, Joburg, and the direct contact details. Busi, I hope that answers your question.
But certainly we can assist
the
you.
The house emojis are coming in.
They're coming in.
Mobi is looking. There we go.
We've
got a house emoji from the uMaStandi account. Mobi.
Yeah.
We have Tamiqele. Tamiqele, thank you for joining us and welcome to the live. Thank you for your question. Tami wants to know if there's any other way to assist someone financially, even if they don't have the required deposit. Tough one.
It's a tough one because there's a yes and there's a no answer. The yes answer is you already own the property. You've maybe already started the project, you didn't finish, so your loan is relatively small. We will account that you've already invested in this. So instead of now needing 1 million, you only need 400,000. We can finish that project for you. So that's the scenario where the answer is yes. But if you want to buy something, build something, the answer is flat no. We only go up to 80%. You have to put skin in the game, as the term. Okay. You have to put in your own equity. We're essentially partners, you know. You can't not come with money.
Yes. Another commonly asked question, Ngobi, is we do have a lot of our South Africans residing in areas like Alexandra and Diepsloot. Do you finance those townships, Alexandra and Diepsloot?
Particularly?
Yeah.
Alex, the issue with Alexandra is title deeds. There's a title deed backlog. So if you don't have the title deed, we can't do the deal. And same goes for Diepsloot. If you have the title deed, sure. But if it's RTP program and you're still waiting to receive it, then we can't.
So it's a title deed issue and not necessarily location?
Not necessarily location.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mobi. And then another question I think that our viewers might find valuable as well is what assistance does uMaStandi provide to emerging property entrepreneurs that may not necessarily have all the knowledge, but they want to learn and they want to be better within the sector?
Yeah, so we have a short course, as I mentioned, with UCT that will try upskill you to understand what you're getting yourself into. Myself, as a portfolio manager, I'll always almost be a phone call away. There is also a mentor we'll partner you with, someone who's over 30 years, probably even more, experience. And then we have another training interval called, Ikaya for sure, which is a short course, basic financial literacy. So we try as much as possible to assist you and upskill you. So the answer is yes. You don't just get our money and then we disappear. There's quite a bit of support.
We're quite involved with our clients. We have a question from Princess. She's asked something that's already been asked, but she goes further. Do you penalize people for early settlement? And if that's the case, why? Because you should like the idea. You should like the idea of people settling the loan sooner, as unfortunate as it may be that you will not be getting your interest.
Well, you answered yourself. Is that how we work? Is, we've raised the money to be able to provide you with the loan, and we charge an interest because the interest is essentially the part where we earn our money and also pay back our investors. So when you settle the loan early, congratulations to you and your business. That's fantastic. We understand fully why you'd want to do that. So in terms of your business, go for it. But on our side, there are, impacts. We promised our shareholders, our investors, X amount, and when you've now settled your loan, it's compromising the returns. So it's almost like, imagine you buy a potato. You're supposed to sell the potato at 50 Rand. After 1 year, you pay incrementally, 5 Rand for 10 months. But now you don't sell it at 50 Rand, you only sell it at 25 Rand. What are you now going to tell the person you owe 25 Rand? Us, we selling the potato at 50, or we told them, guys, we want to sell this potato at 50 Rand. We're going to give you the potato, you can pay 5 Rand every month. When you've now paid up 25 Rand, you say, okay, I'm done. So there's another 25 Rand to go. But we're not going to get that anymore. So now we need to tell the person who we said we want to pay, sell it at 50 Rand, that it's now sold at 25 Rand, and this is why. And that's then why you have penalties for cancellation.
Thank you for that response, Mobi. Zakaze Memela. This question has been this question has been asked. What exactly do I need? Clear credit.
Yes. Credit score needs to be above 650 is what we want. No lower than 620. If it is lower than 620, you have to have a very good reason. But to manage your expectation, it could simply be declined on that basis. We lend to juristic entities, so you have to have a company. We don't finance you directly. So if the property is already in your name, we need to transfer it. If you are purchasing a property, sign the offer to purchase in your company or your trust. We don't do 100% finance, so you have to contribute some money towards the deal.
We have a lot of people that joined in late, Ngobi, because I see the numbers are going up now. I think they were still out clearly shopping and going around macro there looking for Black Friday deals. Tammy says, can you assist if the title deed is currently with the bank?
Okay, so that's a good question. You've asked it a different way. So I'm going to just shed light to that scenario, because that's actually all common. You bought your house with a home loan. So you've been paying it over the past couple of years. So the title deed, or the original title deed, is with the bank, and they've given you a copy maybe. How we help you in that scenario is we also want to register a mortgage over the property as senior bond. And for the most part, the bank won't take a junior position. So we will then, let's say you bought your house for 800,000, you're now left with 400,000 to the bank. That settlement, you ask your bank for their settlement, and part of our total loan, we will put in the money to settle your bank, but we'll carry that amount over to us. So now that 400 is with us, as well as the loan to develop the property.
Perfect.
And in that way, the title deed is, I guess, with us now, the original title deed. We issue you a copy. And the title deed, guys, the property is always in your name. It's always in your name. You just have when we say there's a bond, there's a condition to your title now. So you can't sell your property without telling us. You are bonded. You can't do anything. You can now build 100 units without telling us.
Without letting the financier.
You are bonded.
Okay.
But it's not. It's always in your name. You're still always the owner.
Hope that answers your question clearly.
More house emojis. More house emojis.
We want to stick with the Friday energy, guys. If I have a letter of executorship, will I qualify?
Letter of executorship is a step in the right direction, but at the end of the day, we need the ownership to be clear. So having a letter is granting you the right to, finalize the deceased estate. But the answer is it needs to be final. The letter by itself means you're going the right direction, but you're not finished yet. Finalize the ownership of the property. So if it was previously in your parents' name or your grandparents' name, you have to get it in your name.
Okay, before the process can begin. Thank you, Ngomi. Siyabonga Mahalifa says, do you finance in Riverside View? I think that's
Where's
the
that?
Four Ways. It's a new development towards the Four Ways side.
We'll look at it.
It's definitely up and coming. There's potential there.
I will look at it. I'm not too privy about the neighborhood, but sure.
Still fairly new. But Siyabonga, if the project is feasible, then we would consider it. Princess.
Oh, the house emoji is going crazy. That's what I like. Yes.
Go Yolande. She's left about 100 house emojis. Princess Mamutabi. She says, sorry I joined in late. No worries, Princess. We're glad that you could make it. I might be asking questions already asked. No stress. Would you consider having multiple projects with a good debtor? Say I have been approved for a project in Tembisa and it's doing well. I'm paying my loan repayments without issues, etc. And I see another opportunity to develop in a different area. Can I come back again and apply with uMaStandi for the second project in a different qualifying finance area?
Short answer is yes. A longer answer is there's another opportunity you have there, which is that property that's doing well in Tembisa. You could come to us to register a bond on that property in Tembisa that's already doing well, so long as it's obviously got its plans approved. And we call it an equity release because you have equity in that property. It's valued at 1.5 million, 2 million rand. You've already, however you got there, you built that property. Now you want to do your second deal. Remember I said we don't do 100% finance. So another opportunity you could have had is said, you know what, Nobs, I've got this place. Can I release equity on it? So we register a bond, and now in reverse, we give you up to 80% of what that value is. So now your property is worth 2 million. You can essentially come to us, lend against it for, let's say, for argument's sake, 1.6 million rand. With that 1.6 million, we pay you that, but now your property in Tembisa has to pay the installments with us. With that 1.6, you then go secure your land, you start your construction. So that's a different advantage you can have. Hope I answered it.
Perfect. Hope that answers you, Princess, and thank you for that question. Innocentia Zumo says, does uMaStandi also double check my feasibility to ensure that we all make
100%? We don't approve a deal if it's not gonna make everyone, well, you particularly, profit. So we don't approve a deal just because it pays us back, but it's breaking even. We can't approve it. So it's called debt service cover ratio, which is our primary indicator. How much income is going to be coming from the rooms, from the apartments, to service the debts. So after paying the installments and your operating expenses, water, lights, your cleaner, Wi-Fi, all those things, how much are you left with? If it's below 30%, we can't do the deal.
If it's below 30%, we can't do the deal. Hope that answers you, Innocentia. Tammy Cele is stressing me because Tammy's question is going to stress you too. Tammy says, I need finance for an existing rental property that just needs restoration. I don't have a deposit as I've been unemployed for some time and the property is currently for sale. How can you work with me on this? Tammy.
Does it have rooms? Are you collecting rent?
Are you collecting rent, Tammy, or is it just you? Is it a personal property. It's not
So
quite
are you
clear.
collecting rooms, or let me rather just answer it in a way, maybe. If your credit score is still fine, Tammy, and your property is going, it needs improvements, but you've occupied it and there's a rent income, there's maybe an opportunity we can assist.
Okay.
But if your credit score's bad and the project isn't finished, and yeah,
It gets
and
tricky.
there are scenarios where we can't help, guys. Unfortunately, there are scenarios where we just can't help.
Well, thank you for that, Mobi. We are about to close off our session.
Okay.
It's been over 45 minutes. Before we do, I just want to touch on the areas that we operate in, or rather we finance. And remember, guys, we don't finance all areas in South Africa. We do work with select areas. For example, in Gauteng, we finance in Soweto, Lenasia, Eldorado Park, Kagiso. We're also in Pretoria, Altridgeville, Lotus Gardens, Mamelodi, and Oliven. There's more. I'm just summarizing it. We're also in Ivory Park, Ebony Park, Ruby Ridge, Vosloorus. I know there's a lot of people from Vosloorus that normally join. Davidson, Greater Tembisa. We're also in Cape Town, Khayelitsha, Delft, Montclair, Gugulethu, Langa, Blue Downs. We're also in KZN, Waterloo, Nazareth, KwaDengezi, KwaMashu. I know there's a lot of people also from KwaMashu that normally join. Umlazi, Eastern Cape, like we've already mentioned. Motherwell, Gqeberha, New Brighton, KwaMagxaki, Zwide, East London, Ndantsane, Heaven Hills, Gompo Town, Buffalo Flats. That's just a summary. If you guys want a full list of the areas that we operate in, please pop us an email, info@umastandi.co.za, or call us on 010-595-9000. If we couldn't get to your question, or if you couldn't think of a question today and you think of a question later, pop an email through info@umastandi.co.za. Or if you're around the area, the Joburg area or Eastern Cape, closer to our offices, you are welcome to walk in. We do welcome walk-in appointments between working hours, 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. during the weekdays. One of our ops teams will be gladly assisting you with any questions that you might have. With that said, Ngobi, do you have anything to add before we close off?
No, I think you've summarized it quite well. Guys, thanks for joining. Property is a long-term game. Be patient. Do your due diligence. Take your time. And yes, you do make mistakes, but your character needs to persevere. Take problems on. You need to become a problem solver when you enjoy a property as a business. And yeah, we're always looking to do deals. If you think you've got something that can work, feel free to speak to us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining, and thank you for all the excitement in the comments with the house emojis. That was a great idea. It's a Friday. Guys, stay safe, take care, and keep in contact. You have our contact details. I am Bushe. This is Ngobi. This is the last episode for the year. We will be seeing you guys in 2025.
Please rest well, guys. Enjoy the holidays. Thanks for
Enjoy the holidays. Take care. Bye.
Bye.